Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and good golly, Miss Molly. Welcome to another in my occasional series, the Underlooked Albums, where I talk about albums I think deserve a little more love and attention. Today I'm going to be talking about two albums, not one, so double the pleasure. And I had considered making this an edition of the Underlooked Bands. But given the short duration of this band and the fact that they only did two studio albums in their lifetime, I settled on making those albums as the focus of the video rather than the band in general. However, the band in question is Irish blues rockers Taste. Initially formed in 1966 in Cork, Taste were led by one of the most respected and influential guitarists of his generation in the legendary and still sadly missed Rory Gallagher. The definitive version of the band coalesced in 1968 with the addition of Richard McCracken on bass and John Wilson on drums. In their brief 2-year existence of this lineup, they became well known for their energetic and incendiary live performances, including a legendary appearance at the 1970 Isle of Wight Festival. And in a festival headlined by the likes of Hendrix, The Doors and The Who, many people at the time considered them a highlight of this famous event. They were a pivotal part of that late 1960s blues boom in Britain and Ireland, and even gained a small live following in the USA. And in a blues rock scene containing famous legends already like Hendrix, Clapton, Beck and Peter Green, they more than held their own. The band moved to London in 1968 and secured a deal with the Polydor label. Their self-titled debut album was released in the UK in April 1969 and contained a mix of blues covers and Rory Gallagher originals. Containing elements of blues, rock and jazz, it really captured the musicianship of the band and showcased Gallagher's prowess on various guitars, as well as how tight and dynamic the rhythm section are. Whilst undeniably raw in places, the album features some aggressive and biting guitar work underpinned by a fabulous rhythm section. This template is brilliantly set on album opener Blister on the Moon, with some fierce guitar work. It's still an overlooked classic of the blues rock era, in my opinion. The band's blues chops are front and centre on heavy blues jam Catfish, which captures the looser improvisational side of their live performances. There's some shades of Hendrix and Zeppelin in there, showing the band could hold their own with their contemporaries. In a similar vein, Sugar Mama turns a blues standard into a deep and dirty heavy rocker with some fierce Gallagher soloing and great singing. Born on the Wrong Side of Time explores a quiet verse, loud chorus structure with more fierce soloing from Rory, and Same Old Story showcases the excellent bass and drums in the band. Hail shows off Rory's acoustic blues prowess. Another highlight is also a brilliant cover of Hank Snow's country standard I'm Moving On, which for me sets a template for other artists doing future country blues works, with some groovy slide work and a great soulful vocal from Rory.
About the woman. You know the brand about the wall.
Taste was a creditable debut, but more was yet to come as the band took what they had learned in the studio and on the road and put it into their second and final studio album, 1970's On the Boards, which is a great title for an album too, I think. Entirely self-penned by Gallagher, it also features his multi-instrumental prowess as he adds saxophone to the mix, particularly on the free-form jazz of It's Happened Before, It'll Happen Again. Interestingly, the album, although released in January 1970, had actually been recorded back in late 1968, not too long after the debut album. Both were produced by singer Tony Colton, who later went on to front the excellent Head, Hands and Feet, a band that also featured another superb guitarist in Albert Lee. Anyway, back to On the Boards. The band progresses their sound from the debut, although the same blues and rock core is present as exemplified on opener What's Going On, with its catchy riff and high energy rhythm. There's some super tight bass and drums on this, allowing Rory to stretch out on his solos. It's gritty and awesome with a great live feel. A hit single in the UK and Germany, this remains possibly the best known Taste song, and a great example of the commercial potential of the band as a rock outfit, if that had been a route Rory Gallagher had wanted to continue down. However, Gallagher was more interested in a blues direction, which partly led to the end of the band. The rock side is present though on other tracks like the thumping, slide-infused Eat My Words and the chugging and catchy Morning Sun and the memorable hooks of Railway and Gun and a really great, the closing track of the album, very upbeat, I'll Remember. There's also a progressive tinge on the title track, with Rory pulling out the sax again, with a looser feel to that track. And also, See Here has a nice progressive acoustic feel too. The blues are never far away though, in particular with some great licks on If I Don't Sing, I'll Cry, which adds a great Rory harmonica piece to the mix as well. I think, though, that ironically, my favourite track is the shortest and also the most wistful. It's the folk tinged and very beautiful If the Day Was Any Longer, which is lovely stuff. In conclusion, while these albums may not rank among the all-time greats, they are a fascinating document of a band that burnt briefly but brightly and showcases the early development of Rory Gallagher, who, for me became a very significant artist indeed. So give these two albums a listen. Thanks very much for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed this look at the Taste studio albums. If you did, please leave a like and a comment and let me know how you feel about these albums, about the band Taste and about Rory Gallagher. Till next time, stay well and keep on rocking.